Hello there, one and all, and thank you very much for tuning in to episode 625 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, live on YouTube. As always, whether you're watching the live or you're watching the recording, you are very, very welcome. Offenlicht has a comment for us saying, always have time for a Nathalie Lorson, so do I. Ula says, I was hoping you'll review this one, Mr. P. Well, there we are. The third and final of the live videos we want to do today, just for those of you who only just tuned to this one, we did a new Dior in video number 1 and the new Le Labo in video number 2, so you can go back and find those once you've finished watching this one. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do consider doing so, and if you'd like to find out how you can support my work, you should be able to see a link to my Ko-fi page and my Substack in the video description below. Let us get going. Oh, and do give the video a thumbs up if you like it. I love L'Artisan, says Dushan. I generally do as well. I mean, I'm still really, really excited to smell anything new that they do. I know that in recent years, kind of since the Pooch takeover, again, they sort of seem to have lost their way. It's like nobody really knows what to do with them. I keep hearing that they're going to be completely gone from the UK market, and then they pop up, and then they seem to dwindle again. I have no idea who's handling their PR. I don't have a sort of contact there anymore. It's all a bit sad, and yet more attention should be given to the brand because as a collection, it is still pretty strong, even though I'm really, really annoyed by the ones that they have discontinued, because they have discontinued some gems. And every now and then they give us something worth getting excited about. And I think they have done so now at the start of 2026. Spence Plant says, uh-oh, I think this one might actually tempt Lioldi checkbook. I know, not just yours, mine as well. I still miss tea for two, says Thomas. Yes, and I'm glad I've still got a bottle of my own. Anyway, brand new from L'Artisan Parfumeur, composed by Nathalie Lorson. This is called L'Amant, which I think basically just translates as the lover, right? The actual color of the perfume or bottle is so stunning. Yes, I mean I agree, it is a stunning color, but I just personally get annoyed when perfumes are colored artificially. I don't see the point of that. To me, it suggests that the brand are more concerned about how all of the bottles will look when they're lined up. We were talking about the Dior Collection Privée a little while ago. They absolutely did that with the Collection Privée. I think Lutins color their bottles, their juices as well. I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it just feels, to me, it's almost like artificially colored flowers, but it's fine. You know, it's not a deal breaker if it comes to purchasing a perfume. And they call this one a kind of smoky, incensey ink, a fiery ink, and they're not wrong. I think we should have a spray. Unfortunately, I don't have a proper press release. I've just got the briefest of blurbs. I mean, literally just a few lines. I will share it, but it's not very long. Offenlich says, Lorson with ink notes, of course, reminds me of Encre Noire. Thank you very much. The chili leaf and color remind me of Comme des Garçons style fragrances. Now, thank you for mentioning Encre Noire. That's still probably the most famous scent that Lorson has made. It's her famous musky, dark, inky vetiver for Lalique. But anyway, I just want to smell this now. This is good stuff. So you get the ink note coming through, and it's black and really silvery as well, and metallic. But you also get a very strong spiciness, but not just chili. I mean, to me, I think I get quite a lot of cinnamon. There's more than a shade of opium here, of original opium. It's almost like if you were to make opium more cinnamon-like and give it this kind of metallic inky edge, you would get this. I was talking about ink perfumes, I think, a couple of weeks ago. A really good kind of like all-out ink is Byredo's MM ink. But this isn't just about ink, although the way it expresses the inkiness is through a very similar kind of metallic feel, which is also similar to Acro's ink, which was another great ink type scent. But I think it's the spiciness that stands out for me. And I couldn't stop thinking about like I say, YSL's Opium, and also Lubin's Idole, composed by Olivia Jacobetti. Monster Noah says, great to catch you live. You look like 007 today. Well, you know, we all need to do our audition, right, for the role. Spence Plant says, oh God, original Opium, gimme, grabby hands. But kind of, you know, don't get overly excited. Yeah, I keep thinking original Opium. I keep thinking of Lubin's Idole, which is a beautiful kind of ambery spice scent, incensey, ambery spice scent. And this has got all of those sorts of elements. You think that you kind of decide smelling it that it's right, that it's called The Lover, because there's something both intellectual and sensuous about it. You know, is the lover here a writer? Does he or she write poems to their beloved, you know, by hand? There's a real physicality to it. There's a real sensuality without a sort of carnality, I suppose. It stops short of carnality. And also, there's something about the inkiness and the earthiness that also made me think of, again, Olivia Jacobetti. It made me think of her Zing for L'Artisan, which I think is not part of the lineup anymore. Another one that, you know, scandalously has been discontinued. And I guess it's the sort of, it's the way the spices in the woods head into a kind of leathery direction is the closest that this stuff comes to being animalic. But it's really, really beautiful, at least at the start. More Violette says, this sounds fascinating. I haven't tried any ink scents, though I think Encre Noire has an inky quality. No, absolutely it does, I would say. Encre Noire does mean black ink, as Offenlicht has just pointed out. Omar says, interestingly, Lorson did Bentley for Man Intense, which smells similar to Idole. Oh, it's interesting. Idole Opium, just give it to me now, says Christine. This is probably not my style, says Yvette, but I will most certainly sample it. If you do, please let me know what you think of it. Idole is just gorgeous, says Jarmangat. I'm glad you agree. And Ethan Kreuzer says, just want to say I'm a proud new owner of Geranium pour Monsieur. I'm ready for spring. Good choice for spring. I'll share the blurb with you. I mean, it is really an extremely brief blurb, and then we can do the pre-sprayed blotter. What do they say? They say, L'Amant comes alive in the stillness of night. A spark of pimento warms the air as dark, inky desire lingers on the skin. The senses awaken, drawn to the unexpected. Rich patchouli, yes, I should have said patchouli actually, there is a strong patchouli note there. Smouldering woods and warm spices weave a story of seduction. A love affair, bold, passionate, and impossible to forget. Passionate, I would say yes, maybe not bold, because I think what I quite like about this is that it isn't too loud, but it's got real blood in it. It's got real it's got a real pulse. And I was just trying to think, you know, considering it as an artwork, what would the artist have been feeling while making this? And to me, it's a scent that isn't about the initial spark of attraction. It isn't about the initial spark that might lead to a relationship or an affair. It's about something that has got to the stage where it's a lot deeper and it's a lot more profound. It is a profound smelling sort of perfume, as are Opium and Idole, right? And it almost feels as though it's got this deeply passionate, compassionate, sensuous heart, and that is what she might have been trying to capture here. And maybe that's also interesting why it's called The Lover. You know, does you know, what sort of lover? If you had to put a descriptor before The Lover, what would it be? The new lover, the you know, the long-term lover. And I suppose I'm thinking this is more the long-term lover, the dependable lover, which makes it sound a bit boring, but you know I don't mean it in that kind of boring way. It's grown up. It's got a grown-up passion to it, a grown-up sensuality to it, and it does work very well. Hina says, how would you describe the texture of this fragrance? Does it feel more liquid, oily, airy, or fabric-like? Good question. Let me do the pre-sprayed blotter and then maybe I have to think about that. So pre-sprayed L'Amant. I think, how would I describe the texture? It feels silky. You know, if you had to imagine, it feels like there's a body that's been draped in a very, very rich crimson silk. And it's got that kind of slightly liquidy quality of silk, the softness of the silk, the metallic quality of the silk, the light catching quality of the silk. So maybe I would say silk, if I hadn't made that clear already. It is nice. It is nice. I'm tempted as well. And actually, I have no idea how expensive it is. And I'm going to be less tempted when I find out. £180 for 100 mils. Well, it's better than 238, but yeah, it's not cheap. We'll start saving now, right? But at least this one I would say is worth saving up for. Tina says, leave a like if you enjoy the stream. Yes, that would be much appreciated. If you do enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Substack, subscribe to the channel. This sounds intriguing, says Tina. Yes, this one comes highly recommended. I prefer this blurb compared to the Le Labo, says Elise, and can't wait to sample this one, says Bozok. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, folks. You can go back and watch the Dior and the Le Labo. Once again, thoughts of peace and good wishes to all of the troubled parts of the world. If you are in one of those parts, please look after yourselves and stay safe. And hopefully the next time we meet, things will be in a better situation. Although we are meeting in a couple of days' time, 5 p.m. this Wednesday, 4th of March, an interview with Veronique Spoturno and her perfumer, Mr. Christopher Sheldrake. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye now.